Yeah. He should be on his way.
All right. Please be seated. Court is now in session.
No interpreter matters, huh?
Interpreter matters.
What? Yep, I'm saying no interpreter matters, okay.
No, we have an interpreter matter. I think that's fine.
Let me restart it.
25 cases.
Oh, it's not on the end, it's in the middle. And now I see it, okay. All right. Good evening, everybody, or afternoon. It's the 5 o'clock calendar on January 26, 2025. The court orders for taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of the month will apply to all matters on this calendar. When I call your name, you'll stand behind the podium and give me your name and your date of birth. When I see you, I'm not going to give you all your release conditions. They will be on your paperwork, and so it's your responsibility to read it. At a minimum, you will all have the condition of no drugs without a valid prescription and don't drive without a valid driver's license. Okay? If I do set a secured appearance bond for you, you can go to a bonding company. It's my understanding they do collect calls. On some of the walls are names and numbers of bonding companies. If you don't find it, you can ask one of the officers for that information. All right? Jamisha Reams.
Good evening.
Your name and date of birth.
Jamisha Monet Reams, May 27, 1989.
All right, you've got 2 matters before me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one is a probation violation, and I'm appointing a lawyer for you on both, by the way. And initially, you'll be in 2 different courthouses. Let's deal with the probation matter, CR 2024-123429. You're in probation for possession of drug paraphernalia. You're alleged to have violated term number 1.
When?
And you'll be at 201 West Jefferson for probation revocation arraignment hearing on February 3rd at 8:30. You're not to possess any weapons, no alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription, and if you should be able to get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Now, you got a new case. Possession of, discharging a firearm at a non-resident or residence. Possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, Class 4 and a Class 3. Appoint a lawyer for you on that.
Yes.
This one will be at 175 West Madison, Phoenix, for a status conference on January 31st at 8:30. At this point, a witness preliminary hearing is scheduled for February 4th at 8:30. As I said, I appointed a lawyer for you.
Thank you.
You must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Can't possess any weapons, no alcohol, no drugs, with a valid prescription. And bond for this one is set in a secured appearance bond in the amount of $25,000.
Oh, man. Can I say something?
Pardon?
May I speak on that?
Well, I'm not going to change it, put it that way. What you can do is speak to your lawyer. Your lawyer can make an application in your signed court to see if that can be reduced. Okay, I would say the prosecutors were asking for much higher bond.
This was not my gun. This was...
Okay. Well, I can tell people, everybody here, everything's being recorded. I generally advise people not to talk about the facts of the case because your attorneys won't be happy if you do, because it could be used against you. And in terms of what you just said, I'm aware of that fact. Okay, it's in the information I have from the police.
So I have a bond I could...
Yep, on both of them. All right.
I can't pay for none.
Okay, step to your left, please. Ryan Love. Your name and date of birth, please.
Ryan Love, 4/18/94.
All right, sir, you're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, and it's Class 3 felony and criminal damage, Class 1 misdemeanor. Appointing a lawyer for you. You'll be at 175 West Madison Street for a status conference on January 31st, and a witness preliminary hearing at this point is scheduled for February 4th. Both are at 8:30 in the morning. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You can return one time with a police officer, what's commonly called a civil standby, to pick up your personal effects. I got to find an alternative residence. You're not to initiate contact with the alleged victim or victims. You can't possess any weapons. All right. If you are able to post your bond, you'll have an ankle bracelet and electronic monitoring. With a curfew, you only could leave home during hours approved by probation, by pretrial services, and the officer will give you a packet to explain that. On top of that, there'll be a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $10,000. Secured appearance bond. Step to your left, please.
Thank you.
Ricardo Perez Lazoya.
Hi, my name is Ricardo Perez. My birthday is July 21st, 1991.
Okay, so you got two matters before me. One is a probation violation, CR 2024-118286. You're on probation for a Class 6 felony. I guess possession drug paraphernalia. You'll be at 201 West Jefferson for a probation revocation arraignment hearing on February 3rd at 8:30. I'm appointing a lawyer for you in this and on your new case, by the way. You're alleged to have violated term number 1, which means not being a law-abiding citizen. Bond is set in the amount of $500, security appearance bond. If you get out, contact your probation officer in 72 hours. No, you can't possess or consume any alcohol, no drugs with a valid prescription, and no weapons. Bond on this one is set in the amount of $500. Now, in regard to your new case, I said appoint a lawyer for you. You're charged with 3 counts of burglary in the 3rd degree, Class 4 felonies. And I should also see, you got a warrant out of Gilbert on a traffic charge. I don't know this, and you'll be probably going out to Gilbert tomorrow morning. Oh, you have a bond. He's already been to Gilbert Court, or is that just a bond that was set? So it'll be probably going tomorrow morning then to Gilbert.
Yeah, it shows he has a warrant, so it's pretty much $300 bond.
It's a warrant was set. I'm saying to have, but it probably going out to the Gilbert Court tomorrow morning. That's my guess. Okay.
So I won't be getting released today?
What? No. Well, one thing I already told you. I'm saying bonds, but you also have a hold out of Gilbert. Okay. And appointing a lawyer for you. You'll have your status conference January 31st at 8:30, and a witness preliminary hearing at this time is scheduled for February 4th at 175 West Madison Street in Phoenix. You can't return to the scene of the alleged crime, cannot initiate contact with any alleged complainants or witnesses, no alcohol, and obviously if you get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Bond in this one is set in a security appearance bond of $3,600. Step to your left, please. Mario Michel.
Mario Mitchell,
I'm sorry.
1/19/1987.
Okay. So you're charged with one count of burglary in the third degree. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. You'll have your next court dates at 175 West Madison Street at 8:30 in the morning. Your status conference on January 31st, and a witness preliminary hearing is scheduled for February 4th. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, have any contact with any alleged victim or victims. Bond is set in the amount of $3,500 security appearance bond. Step to your left, please. Federica Smith.
Hi.
Your name and date of birth, please.
Federica Smith, 10/16/83.
10/16?
10/16/83.
Okay. All right. You are charged with theft, Class 6 felony, appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court dates will be at 175 West Madison Street, both are 8:30. Status conference on January 31st, and at this time a witness preliminary hearing on February 4th. You can't return to the scene of alleged crime or crimes, and you cannot initiate contact with any alleged complainant or witness. All right, and bond is set a security appearance bond of $3,000. Step to your left, please. Charlotte Hill. Your name and date of birth.
Charlotte Hill, November 1st, 1986.
You're here on 3 different probation violation warrants. I'm appointing a lawyer for you on each one. You can have the same court date for each one. If you get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours release. Obviously, no alcohol consumption or possession, no weapons, and no drugs without a valid prescription. Let's deal with 2019 144541. You're in that's, let's see. You're on probation for possession of drug paraphernalia. I know you're in intensive probation. Your court dates for all these will be on February 3rd at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. On this one, you're alleged to have violated Term 5, and your judge set bond amount of $250 security appearance bond. In 2021, 137769, and your other probation violation warrant alleged you have violated Terms 3 and 5. And this one, you're on probation for possession of drug paraphernalia again. And by the way, you have to get out. If you get out, contact your probation officer. I have to amend this, by the way. Within 24 hours of any release. And same conditions, same court dates. Bond was set in the amount of $250 for that. So you have to contact your probation officer within 24 hours, make that change. And so in 2019, 147783, looks like you're on probation for, well, the other one is, I'm sorry, let's start with 2021-137769. All right, you're on probation for resisting arrest. Okay, and in CR 2019-147783, you're on probation for attempted burglary in the third. So the first one, that your judge set bond the amount of $1,500, and in regard to 2021-137769, bond was set in the amount of $500. So the total bond is $2,250 secured appearance bond. If you get out, make sure you contact your probation officer in 24 hours and also make it to court. All right, step to your left, please. What?
Can you sign number 20?
It never fails how there's always one that doesn't get signed. Okay? Worked?
Yeah.
Okay. Juan Rodriguez? Your name and date of birth, please.
Ryan Rodriguez, 7/23/92.
You're here on two matters, a probation violation matter and a new case. On the probation matter, which is 2022-143135, looks like I appoint a lawyer for you. You're on a class 4 felony. Your court date, you'll have your arraignment, probation revocation arraignment on February 30 at 8:30 in the morning at 201 West Jefferson. You're alleged to have violated terms 3, 4, 5, 15. You get out, contact your probation officer. You're not on intensive probation, are you?
I was originally at first.
Let me see what, I just want to double check that. Yeah. So you have to if you get out, contact your probation officer within 24 hours of release. No weapons, no alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription, and your judge set bond amount of $250. And then on your new case, you're charged with 2 class 4s, possession of dangerous drugs, possession of narcotic drugs, class 6 felony of possessed drug paraphernalia, and 1 class 1 misdemeanor, false reporting to law enforcement. Appoint a lawyer for you. This one, initially you have 2 different courtrooms and then 2 different lawyers, but they'll probably be worked into one. You'll be at 175 West Madison Street on January 31st at 8:30, and a witness preliminary hearing on February 4th, also at 8:30. Same release conditions. Bond is a security appearance bond of $1,000. Step to your left, please. All right, Araceli Vieira. Your name and date of birth, please.
Araceli Rivera, June 12, 1983.
All right, you're in a probation violation. I guess you're on probation for an aggravated DUI. You're alleged to have violated terms 3, 5, and 15. So I appointed a lawyer for you. You'll have your revocation arraignment hearing on February 3rd at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. No alcohol, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. If you get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours, and another judge set bond for you in the amount of $1,000 secured appearance bond. Step to your left, please. Xavier Hernandez.
Hello, Your Honor.
Your name and date of birth, please.
Xavier Pope Hernandez, 10/27/1981.
Okay, sir, I'm appointing a lawyer for you, and you're charged with criminal trespass on a critical public service facility, class 5 felony, and criminal damage, class 5 felony. Your next court date will be at 175 West Madison Street at 8:30 on January 31st, and a witness preliminary hearing at this point scheduled for February 4th. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or initiate contact with the alleged complainant or witness. No weapons, and no drugs without a valid prescription. I will tell you this, sir. The prosecutors were asking for me to set a bond of $10,000. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to set bond a security appearance bond of $500. So if you post your bond, make sure you show up, because you could lose that bond and a warrant could issue. All right, step to your left, please. Austin Fletcher.
Austin Fletcher, March 30th, 1997.
Okay, sir, you got 2 probation violations. It'll be, I'm appointing a lawyer for you on both, and the court dates will be the same. Okay, you're in probation for CR 2022-147962 and CR 2021-006653. And get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Give me a second. And no alcohol, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. On the court date will be February 3rd at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. On each one, there'll be a security appearance bond of $50, total of $100 security appearance bond. So if you get out, make sure you contact your probation officer and show up for court. Step to your left. Okay, Alex Vera Mendoza.
Alex Vera Mendoza, May 28, 2005.
Okay. So you, first of all, I'm appointing a lawyer for you also. You are charged with the following things: 2 Class 4 felonies, possession or use of a weapon in a drug offense, possession of dangerous drugs, then Class 1 misdemeanor, failing to admit you are carrying a deadly weapon, and Class 3 misdemeanor, carrying a deadly weapon being under the age of 21. In regard to one of the Class 4s, possession or use of a weapon in a drug offense, at this time I don't have enough information to find probable cause. Doesn't mean you won't be charged with it, but right now I'm not considering it, okay? So, you'll be at 175 West Madison Street on February 10th at 8:30, and a witness preliminary hearing on February 13th at 8:30. That's a 175 West Madison. Don't mess up, make sure you show up for court. Now, you're gonna be getting out, but I'm gonna release you to pretrial services and with an ankle monitor. And so, basically what they're going to do, you cannot leave your home except during the hours approved by the pretrial services people. And if you take off the thing, that's a felony. All right? The officer will give you a packet so you can familiarize with your responsibilities, sir. Okay?
So, am I going to go on ankle bracelet?
Yeah.
I have a question. So, I work all the way to Tempe. I have to wake up basically like at 3. I leave my house at 4.
That's when you got to talk to pretrial services people.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
That's why you better read that.
All right, thank you.
Mila Darag Todorovich, Jr. Nice. So your name and date of birth, please.
Mail Director Dorovich, 03/24/1978.
Okay. Has he gone to Phoenix Court yet?
Yes.
Oh, he has? And what did they do?
It said TS, so that's
What?
TS, I guess, time served.
Oh, time served. Oh, TS, yeah, time served. Okay. Thank you. All right, Mr. Todorovich, you're charged with possession of narcotic drugs, Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. You'll be at 175 West Madison Street on February 10th at 8:30 for a status conference. You'll have a witness preliminary hearing on February 13th at 8:30. No drugs without a valid prescription. You're going to get a packet from one of the officers. Make sure you read it, because I'm going to release you to pretrial services with drug testing. So you make sure you comply with them. You have to contact them. You have to make sure you're getting your drug testing, or else there'll be a warrant and you're back here. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, step to your left, please. Ryan Silver. Your name and date of birth.
Ryan Silver, January 1st, 1980, Your Honor.
Sir, you're charged with possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. You'll be at 175 West Madison at 8:30 for your next court dates. Status conference on February 10th, and a witness supplement hearing is scheduled for February 13th. Remember, no drugs without a valid prescription. Same thing, you're getting a packet from one of the officers. Read carefully, because I'm releasing the pretrial services, okay? And so you're gonna have drug testing. So if you don't contact them, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, including drug testing, there'll be a warrant for you.
Okay, can I ask one question?
Sure.
If I, like, leave here and go into treatment tomorrow?
Talk to pretrial services.
Okay,
Okay, that's what I'm saying. It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying, make sure they know what's going on, okay? That might change how they work your case, you know what I mean?
okay,
Okay, but that's their decision. They'll be monitoring you,
okay.
okay?
Thank you.
But it'll take a few hours for you to get out though, sir. Sir, it'll take you a few hours before they process you and you're getting out though.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're getting out, well, probably early morning hours,
that's fine.
or, yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
okay. Marcus Davis?
Marcus Davis, 032893.
Okay, sir, you're also charged with possession of narcotic drugs, class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony. I'm also appointing a lawyer for you. You'll be at 175 West Madison Street for a status conference February 10th at 8:30. Witness supplement hearing on February 13th at 8:30. No drugs without a valid prescription. Likewise, I'll be releasing you to pretrial services. Read your packet because you have to have drug testing, and make sure you're compliant with pretrial services. Okay? So you'll be getting out in a few hours. Okay?
Thank you.
Joseph, well, give me 1 second here. All right, Zeta Ojeda? All right, your name and date of birth, please.
Zydo Heda, March 29th, 1982.
All right, you're charged with unlawful means of transportation as a passenger, class 6 felony. I appoint a lawyer for you. Your next court date will be at 175 West Madison Street, 8:30, for a status conference on January 31st. You'll also have a witness supplement hearing at this time scheduled for February 4th at 8:30. You're not to initiate contact with the alleged victim or complainant. And bond is set in the amount of $3,000 security appearance bond. Step to your left, please. Before I go on the record about the house calls, we have Mr. Martin. You must well take everyone else out because he's a fugitive of justice. It takes a whole bunch of time to do that. Okay, Mr. Martin?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Your Honor?
Okay. We weren't picking you, calling you last, just it takes a lot more time to do a fugitive justice case.
Yes, sir.
I have to go through a lot of stuff, so I don't want these people to have to just sit here while we go through all this.
Yes, sir. How you doing this afternoon?
Okay, let's go with this. Yours is a little bit more involved, okay?
Can we do an identity check as well?
What?
Can we do an identity check as well, sir?
You don't think it's you?
No, sir, it's not me at all.
Okay, this is what we're gonna have to find out. Let me see something.
Your Honor, we have local personality.
We do?
Yes.
Okay, sit down for a second, let's.
Yes, sir.
Can take, who's that, by the way?
Silva, Juan Silva?
That's supposed to be a house call.
No.
Oh, it's interpreter, that's
Yeah,
right.
interpreter.
I'm sorry. Why would you?
Are we doing the interpreter?
Yeah, let's do the interpreter matter
Okay,
first, yeah.
okay.
Thank you for reminding me.
No problem.
Senor?
Hi,
No. Senor, su nombre?
Juan Carlos Silva.
Juan Carlos Silva?
Sí.
Okay, okay. I speak English. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but do you need it? Do you need English? Do you need an interpreter?
No, that's fine.
Sure?
Sure.
Okay. It says he speaks English. Okay. You already told me you did one, so what's your date of birth, please?
January 18, 1991.
But is your first language Spanish?
Yeah.
But you're able to speak English without any difficulty?
Yeah, but I understand English.
No, but there'll be a lot of legal terms. So the question is, wouldn't you feel better if you were able to understand everything, if you had an interpreter?
I understand,
No, I want you to understand everything.
But, no.
There's no big thing. We'll just get someone on the line, and
Yeah.
in the future, you'll have an interpreter with you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try again. But please wait for the interpreter speaks.
Okay.
Don't try to do it in English.
No problem.
But I will appoint the Office of the Court Interpreter for you. On that FOJ, we may have to talk a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I understand.
And do you know his FBI number? Can you look it up? Because we're going to need to know that. And I'll have to look at the warrant, see if it has it. Yeah, so that's one they're going to have to go. Okay, will the interpreter please identify him or herself, please?
Will do, sir. My name is Carlos, ID 111261.
Okay, good evening or good afternoon. We have a gentleman in front of me who speaks English, but we need to, we're appointing a Spanish interpreter to make sure he understands everything, okay? So I've instructed him not to speak until he hears your interpretation. Okay, sir, your date of birth, please.
Señor, yo soy su intérprete y le ayudaré en la conversación. Dígame su fecha de nacimiento, por favor.
18 de enero del 1991.
Interpreter will confirm. Me dijo enero 18 del 91.
Sí.
January 18, 1991.
Okay, sir, you're here before this court on 2 probation violation warrants.
Bien, se encuentra usted acá ante el tribunal por 2 violaciones de libertad con condiciones.
Okay.
In CR 2022-144625, you are charged with, you're on probation for organized retail theft.
Perdón, un momento. I'm sorry, Your Honor. There's a lot of echo. I couldn't get that. Can you repeat that, please?
Do you want to repeat the number or the charge? I'll just repeat it again.
From the beginning, so
Sir.
the number included?
Yeah. Oh, the number is good? Okay. You are in probation for CR. Okay. You are on probation for organized retail theft.
I'm sorry, that was organized, reach out.
Retail theft.
Retail, thank you. Bien, señor, el
Yes.
día de hoy se encuentra usted justamente para empezar con un cargo de robo organizado de productos al detalle.
On your other probation warrant, you are on probation for possession of a narcotic drug.
Y en la otra orden de captura que estaba usted con libertad bajo vigilancia sería por posesión de drogas narcóticas.
In both of these matters, you're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5.
En ambos asuntos se alega que usted ha violado los términos tercero y quinto.
If you are able to be released, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release.
Si usted pudiera ser liberado, tenía que haber contactado al oficial de libertad con condiciones a 72 horas máximo de su liberación.
You cannot possess any weapons.
No puede usted tener en su poder ninguna arma.
You cannot possess or consume any alcohol.
No puede usted tener en su poder ni consumir ninguna forma de alcohol.
You cannot possess any drugs without a valid prescription.
No puede usted tener en su poder ninguna droga sin una receta requerida.
In regard to the theft charge, you cannot return to the scene of that original crime or have any contact with any of those alleged complainants or witnesses.
Ahora, en lo que concierne al cargo de robo, no puede usted dirigirse o llegar cerca del lugar original de donde se imputa el delito, ni tener contacto con ninguna de las personas que sean las que se alegan son las víctimas o con ninguno de los testigos.
Okay. In regard to the total bond for both cases is $400 secured appearance bond.
Y con respecto a la fianza con garantía sería de $400 con una garantía de comparecencia.
Okay? Thank you very much for your assistance this evening. All right? Take care.
Thank you for using our services. Have a good evening. Buenas noches, señor. Gracias.
Okay. I'll tell you what, let's get the reasons for the house calls before we talk to Mr. Martin. Sir, I'm just trying, we have some other matters to take care of first. All right? All right, let's start with Jeffrey Shagrud. Let's see here. What is the reason why he wasn't brought here?
UCS.
What?
UCS. UCS? That's what they said. Why
What does that mean?
unable to function.
Unable. UCS?
T.
UCF, unable to,
UCS.
oh, UCF, but what's C for? Oh,
E.
E. Okay. All right, he's here on probation violation, is led to a violated terms 3, 5, and 15. His court appoint a lawyer for him. Next court, his revocation arraignment hearing will be February 3rd at 8:30. No alcohol, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. Must contact his probation officer in 24 hours to release. I'm appointing a lawyer for him. His court date is 2/3 at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson, revocation arraignment hearing. Then we got Antonio Vega. And let's see what's his situation.
What? What is that?
He's in medical isolation because of a dog bite, so apparently that's the reason why he wasn't brought out. He's got two matters. One is 2025-104-039. All right, he's charged with burglary in third degree. Oh, wait, he was hit by the canine, police canine. Burglary in the third degree, class 4 felony. Criminal damage, class 4 felony, it says here. Appoint a lawyer for him. His next court dates will be at 175 West Madison Street, status conference, January 31st, 8:30. Witness preliminary hearing on February 4th. Can't return to the scene of the alleged crime. Can't initiate contact with alleged complainant or witness. And if he gets out, he's got to contact his probation officer in 72 hours release. Bond is set in the amount of $5,000. Security appearance bond. Then we have 2024-155-331. Probation violation on a class 1 misdemeanor. And if I'm not mistaken, he just got placed on probation January 17th. Could be wrong, if I remember correctly. It's a class 1 misdemeanor, alleged to violate term 1. There'll be a 201 on Jefferson for a probation revocation arraignment hearing, February 3rd at 8:30. Appointing a lawyer for him. That's term 1 is alleged violation. If it gets out, contacts the probation officer in 72 hours, and bond is set in the amount of $50 on that one. Then we've just for the record, Alicia Villalobos, CR 2023-15396-1, CR 2022-107-361. I have not received any requests for an extraordinary circumstances why she was not seen earlier. The only information that I was given is that she was in the Tempe Municipal Court at the time the 24 hours ran out at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I know action both of them, and so she should be released. Okay. Now, let's deal with Mr. Martin. Okay.
Here's the FBI number that you requested.
Oh, this on. Oh, thanks very much. Now, this is the number on the warrant or the
That was the FBI number
for which thing?
that this officer.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Martin, come on forward. Okay, let's look at the warrant there. Sir, once again, give me your name and date of birth, please.
Joseph Martin, 020586.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can sort of resolve this now, or else I might have to put you for my next calendar. Okay.
Hey, can I say something?
Oh, 1 second, no. You want me to try to look it out? First of all, sir, what's your date of birth?
02/05/1986.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sir, you're here with the total of 3 matters. Let me go through everything first, okay? Let's do the Justice Court matters that are local here. Well, in TR 2019-145179, you have a warrant out of the Arcadia Biltmore Justice Court on driving a license suspended, Class 1 misdemeanor. And I will tell you this, the warrant was issued in September of 2022. So bond was set in the amount of $582, a security appearance bond. The next court date on that one is January 29th at 8:30 at the Biltmore Justice Court. Okay? And then you have a warrant out of El Centro Justice Court, and the address will be on both driving a license suspended and failure to appear. And that original offense date was, this warrant was in July 26, 2021. So these are oldies. And your arraignment hearing there will be on January 28th at 8:30. Bond was set bond, even though they went to $750, I made it $50. So now let's talk about the the fugitive justice case. Now, sir, give me a second. According to the information I have, there's a warrant for you, an extradition warrant, and they want you from the state of Texas, Harris County, okay? And you're saying it's not you?
No, sir, I haven't even been there. I wasn't arrested. I wasn't approached by police.
Why was that?
I wasn't arrested. I wasn't approached by police. I never got fingerprinted. I never even got a contact. I never got notice or anything.
Okay, you're not saying it's not you, though.
No, it's not me. And I don't. And I also have an identity. I also have an identity theft report on my credit report right now as well.
Okay, what is the issue? Because right now, the date of birth we had on that warrant is the same as yours, and the FBI number on the warrant is the same as they have here in the jail.
Sir, it's not. Sir, it's not me, sir. It's not me, sir. I never got fingerprinted by courts. I never went to a judge.
I'm just telling you right now. That's why I was checking to see if the FBI numbers were the same.
Yes,
I'm going to reset it to the 8 o'clock calendar, and I'll do some research. But we're only resetting the FOJ, fugitive justice matter, not the other 2 matters. I said bonds in regard to that.
Yes, sir.
Okay? I'm going to see what I can find out in regard to it. All right? Thank you. I may need someone's assistance. Is the sergeant around who I can talk to? Or anybody?
You want them now?
Yeah, while you're still here, if you can, Sergeant, come on down here. Because it might require a sergeant to get what I'm hoping for, you know.
Yes, Your Honor, I was never...
Hold on a second.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Oh, I don't know if you can help me or not. Okay, this gentleman has been arrested with a couple of Justice Court matters with FOJ. Okay, date of birth is the same, and he says it wasn't him. Okay, I'm looking at the from your records. You have FBI number of 924-172-DD7. Now I'm looking at the warrant, record use only, that was placed there. Oh, that's with the Sheriff's Department. Okay. Maricopa County sent that number, FBI number 924-172-DD7. Okay, and they confirmed it, but in their confirmation, I don't see any FBI number. Is it possible to get a photograph from them? From Harris County, Texas.
We would have to go through our OIC.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I asked for. I figured it would have to go from your level too.
I don't see why we wouldn't be able to. I don't know how long that would take, but I would definitely.
Okay, so I'll put on my. If I put on my 8 o'clock. What?
Numbers on there?
Well, on their warrant, their confirmation doesn't. I can't see a FBI number, but the number that you have here is the one that's on the notification.
Well, what I'll do before I do that,
What?
I'll also check, the hit itself, the confirmation, and see if there's a fingerprint, not an FBI number, an actual
There's
fingerprint.
an FBI number, it's the fingerprint, also the fingerprint number, isn't it?
No, it's a SID number, SID number.
Oh, SID, okay.
So if that matches, obviously we can't fake.
You can't what?
We can't fake fingerprints, you know, so I'll go do that, do you
But
need it?
I'll put it on my 8 o'clock calendar, so that'd be great, so that, sir, if it's not you, I'll take the appropriate action, but if it is you, obviously, we'll go through this thing, but.
So we just bring it straight back, come back and get it to you straight, or?
You can do that, so I can look, we can discuss it, but I'll put them on the 8 o'clock calendar, because I'm doing the 8 o'clock calendar also.
I should be plenty of time.
Very good, thanks very much, okay?
Yes, sir.
We'll hold off on that, so, we did everything else, and now I just have to do the house calls. So if you want to take him back and someone can escort me there, yeah.
So the paperwork's still good for the other charges?
Well, don't do anything, give him just the paperwork for the 2 justice courts where I said bond. Hold on to the, but don't do anything in regards to FOJ right now. Of course, there shouldn't be any paperwork, because I didn't fill out any paperwork. So, okay. Now what's your question?
Yes, sir.
That's it? Okay. Because I had to wait to see if it was going to be a waiver of extradition or not. Okay?
Go back.
Moving him to the 8th, Commissioner.
What?
We're moving him to the 8th.
Just for the FOJ. Okay, we're off the record?
You did the house calls already.
What?
You did the house calls already, correct?
Yeah, I have to do the house calls, yeah. Okay. Well, let's go off the record first. Are we off?
What is your name at the Pima County Jail, please?
My name's Michael Munoz.
Okay. Mr. Munoz, it looks like you had a criminal trespass warrant for your arrest from December 3rd of 2024. A warrant had gone out for your arrest, and I'm going to quash the warrant. Looks like you're in custody on another matter. I'll release you on this justice court case only. Your next court date is going to be February 25th at 8:30 a.m. Just, I'll let justice court know that you're in custody. If you're out of custody, you got to make sure you appear. If you're in custody, justice court will know where you're at. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. I should be getting out this Friday. So then on February 25th is when I go to this one?
Yep, in justice court. Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. You as well, ma'am. Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah.
Your Honor, this is the Spanish interpreter. Just wanted to let you know that I've joined. I'm going on mute.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, this is the jail.
Yes.
I just wanted to let you know as well that Rios Amanda is still currently at the hospital.
Okay, thanks. We'll continue her.
Alameda. Yes, have a seat, bud.
What is your name, please?
Luis Diego Alameda.
All right, looks like you had a domestic violence disorderly conduct warrant for your arrest out of justice court. The alleged incident date was from May 19th of 2018. So this warrant's been pending for a while. I'm going to quash the warrant now that you're in custody. I'm going to give you a chance to appear. I'm going to release you. You're going to be in justice court January 29th, 2025 at 2:00 p.m. And an attorney is being appointed for you, Robin Ald, I believe. Do not commit any further acts of domestic violence. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, hold on a second. If I'm releasing somebody on an old domestic violence disorderly conduct, do they get appointed counsel? Okay. Oh, yeah. So I'm not appointing counsel. So just make sure you appear on your own on January 29th at 2:00 p.m. That's on Monday. So it's a quick turnaround. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank
Yes.
you. If you don't appear, another warrant's going to issue. Thank you. You're excused.
We good. Yeah. Go out there, bro. Just have a seat.
What is your full name, please?
Carlos Ignacio Enriquez.
You had a couple of warrants for your arrest. One was a case out of Green Valley. It was for some sort of traffic offense. I'm going to quash that warrant, release you on that case. Your next court date in Green Valley is February 6th at 8:30 a.m. Then you also had 3 warrants for your arrest out of city court for 3 separate cases. One case was a domestic violence criminal damage charge. One case was a domestic violence assault, domestic violence disorderly conduct, drug paraphernalia case. The third one is a drug paraphernalia charge. I am going to quash those warrants, enter pleas of not guilty. I'm going to set your bond at $1,000, appoint you an attorney with the city public defender's office. Your next hearing date's going to be in city court, February 4th at 1:45 p.m. So make sure if you're out of custody, you got to make sure you appear. If you're in custody, you got to make sure. Well, you'll be seen by a judge. All right, you're excused. Thank you.
Great.
Okay. The felony 15. Okay. What is your full name, please?
Nation Green.
All right, Ms. Green. You said Naisha Marie Green. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you had a warrant for your arrest for criminal trespass in the first degree. The alleged incident date was from June 27th of 2022. I'm going to quash that warrant, release you on that charge. Your next court date is going to be in Justice Court, February 25th at 8:30 a.m. And make sure you don't go back to that victim's yard. I don't even know if you remember it. You also have a new charge for possession of drug paraphernalia from today's date. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty. Set your next court date in Justice Court, February 25th at 8:30 a.m. And then you had 3 cases in warrant status out of city court for 3 separate criminal trespass charges. Ms. Green, some of these trespass go back to October 10th of 2022, another one from December 12th of 2022, and then a recent one from April 4th of last year. Are you living in Tucson, Ms. Green? Ms. Green, can you hear me? Are you awake?
Yeah.
All right. Do you live in Tucson?
Yeah.
Are you living on the streets or are you living at home?
The streets.
All right. I'm going to set your bond at $200, appoint you an attorney to help you with your case. February 4th, 2025 at 1:45 p.m. is your next court date in city courts. All right. You're excused. Thank you. What is your full name, please?
Anne Miranda.
All right. So, Miss Miranda, looks like you had charges out of Marana Municipal Court was for a shoplifting warrant for your arrest. The alleged case was from November 7th of 2022. And I'm going to quash that warrant. I'm going to give you a chance to appear on your own, even though this warrant's been pending for a while. You'll need to appear in Marana March 5th, 2025 at 10 a.m. If you don't appear, another warrant's going to issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Okay.
And then, Miss Miranda, you have 3 cases in my court. I'm Judge Hale from Tucson City Court. You had 2 shopliftings and a drug paraphernalia case. One case goes all the way back, drug paraphernalia, June 12th of 2018. The shoplifting was from November 18th of 2022, and a shoplifting from May 21st, 2022. So, Ms. Miranda, are you living in Tucson?
Yes.
How did you get stopped by the police? Oh, you're in custody on a felony matter?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to release you, give you a chance to be held. I'm sorry, I'm going to release you on these city court cases because you're being held on that felony. I'm going to set your next hearing date, February 28th at 9 a.m., and you'll see a judge in city court. You are excused. Thank you. What is your full name, please?
Tristan Dobson.
All right, Mr. Dobson, it looks like you were picked up and you had a case where you had a warrant for your arrest. Gosh, this case is from 2016. You had taken a diversion for being underage, 21 and under, and having alcohol in your body. And you had taken a diversion plea offer, and it looks like you never completed diversion successfully. All I'm going to do is enter the plea of guilty into the record, and your fine is going to be $350. So it looks like you had taken a diversion plea offer back on June 30th, 2016 for 1 count of being underage and having alcohol in your body. The alleged offense date was June 19th of 2016. I'll enter the plea into the record. Your fine is 12 months of unsupervised probation. Just basically means beginning today's date, don't violate any new laws. Your fine is $350. I'll dismiss the failure to appear, and I'll just set you up on a payment plan. Are you currently employed?
Yes, ma'am. I can pay for it in cash too.
All right, I'll set it up for $25 monthly beginning February 15th, 2025. But if you can pay it off before then, great. If you can only pay $25, that's fine too. I need to let you know 2 things. Once you've paid off that fine, you may file a petition to set aside your conviction. Really important motion to file. And then number 2, in 3 years, you may file a petition to seal your court file. Those are also important motions. Both of those motions, you can file it in room 104 in city court. I put the name of the motions on your paperwork so you can remember to file those documents when you have paid off the fine and after 12 months of unsupervised probation. Mr. Dobson, what is your date of birth?
4198.
I'm sorry, say that again, by month?
4198. April 1st, 98.
April 1st, 1998. All right, thank you. You're excused.
Donaldson.
Sorry? No, you do not. Mm-mm. Judge Close is going to see the person on that non-transport. No, do not appoint. What is your full name, please?
James Matthew Donaldson.
Mr. Donaldson, you picked up new
Yes,
charges of assault, criminal trespass, shoplifting, and a separate case for drug paraphernalia charges. Those are your newest charges. You also had cases in warrant status. Drug paraphernalia, criminal trespass on November 16th, 2024. And criminal trespass, drug familiar from November 30th of 2024. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty. Because you picked up new charges, your bond is set at $1,000. City Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. And your next hearing date is going to be in city court. Let's see, Donaldson. It's going to be on February 4th, 2025 at 1:45 p.m. You are excused. Thank you. What is your full name, please?
My name is Christopher Anthony Zufueta.
Is there is there a felony public defender there, jail?
1 second, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Goodman, you're there?
I'm here, Judge. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, Judge. Carter Santini here for the defendants.
Oh, hi. Good evening. Thank you for being
Good
here.
evening.
All right, so Mr. Zuezueza, you're charged with 1 count of murder in a 2nd degree. I'm an inner plea of not guilty. Need to let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I will hear from your attorney. Mr. Goodman. And Mr. Goodman, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now, Judge?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, so the state's recommending $10,000 with pretrial services in lieu of no bond. I'm familiar with Mr. Zazueta. He was been in the STEPS program since October, has been struggling the entire time, and is now essentially escalated while on release to committing essentially a residential type of burglary offense. So the state feels a bond in lieu of no bond would be appropriate.
Defense counsel?
So, Judge, I understand the state's concerns. Mr. Zazueta would like to be released back to the custody of his mom and father, who he does reside with. He, is in the system. He is in the STEPS case. If you are inclined to hold him, Judge, we would be asking for a more reasonable bond of $1,100.
Because I really don't have a choice. Either I can hold you without bond, or I can go with the state's recommendation. So I'm going to do the $10,000 bond, no contact with the victims. Don't go back to that residence location if you get out of custody. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is February 5th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you. Thank you.
Oh, can I get the court date one more time, Judge?
February 5th at 1:30 p.m.
February 5th. Thank you, Judge.
No problem. What is your full name, please?
Su nombre entero, por favor.
Ubaldo Romo Canales.
Ubaldo Romo Canales.
Mr. Canales, you have 2 separate felony cases.
Señor Canales, usted tiene 2 casos separados y los 2 son de delito mayor.
You had a felony warrant for your arrest charging you with unlawful possession of narcotic drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. The offense date was from May 17th of 2021.
Muy bien, primero tenía usted una orden de arresto pendiente de un cargo de posesión de drogas peligrosas junto con amenitos de drogas, y la fecha del cargo viene siendo mayo 17, 2021.
I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty.
Voy a entablar declaraciones de no culpable.
You also had a new felony charge from today's date for 1 count of unlawful possession of a narcotic drug.
También tiene usted un cargo de hoy que es posesión ilícita de un narcótico.
I need to let you know, sir, that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent.
Señor, necesito que usted sepa que tiene usted un derecho constitucional de guardar silencio.
You do have a right to be represented by an attorney.
Tiene el derecho de ser representado por un abogado.
You do have an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing.
Y usted sí tiene un abogado que está sentado al lado de usted, y él está representándolo para la audiencia de hoy.
I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty.
Voy a entablar declaraciones de no culpable.
I want to let you know you do have an immigration ICE hold on you.
También necesito que usted sepa que hay una orden de migración, una detención de migración, una orden de detención de migración.
I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor regarding his bond recommendation.
Voy a dejar que el fiscal hable primero sobre la recomendación de la fianza para usted.
Mr. Goodman?
Señor Goodman.
You're able to hear me, Your Honor?
Yes.
The state's recommending the warrant amount of $25,000 cash secured on the warrant, just based on it being drug sales related and his criminal history. And then on the new narcotic drug violation, we're just requesting a nominal bond with a smart court hearing date for that matter.
Muy bien, señor. Estamos recomendando una fianza de $25,000, ya sea efectivo o garantía, tomando en cuenta que el caso está ahorita con una petición de orden de arresto y tomando en cuenta que se estaba vendiendo drogas. Y también en cuanto al cargo de hoy, estamos pidiendo una fianza pequeña y estamos pidiendo que lo organicen para que forme parte del tribunal de SMART.
Mr. Goodman, do you know how much allegedly the amount of drug is involved?
Señor Goodman, ¿usted sabe supuestamente qué cantidad de droga estaba involucrada?
Pues la verdad no.
A second, Your Honor, I just need to cut and paste the case number and I can see what I can find for you.
Señoría, si me puede dar un momento, nada más puedo ver si puedo averiguar.
Oh, yes, Your Honor. This is a significant amount of drugs. It's essentially 2.25 pounds of cocaine, it looks like.
Muy bien, señor. Señoría, parece que es una cantidad grande de drogas. Parece que son 2.25 libras de cocaína.
Defense counsel, your recommendation?
Judge, we would be asking.
Licenciado de la defensa, por favor.
Judge, we would be asking for a more reasonable bond of $1,100 given his immigration hold.
No, señoría, estamos pidiendo una fianza más razonable, dado que él tiene una orden de detención de migración.
Mr. Romo, your bond for the warrant case is set at $25,000, and for your new case, it's set at $1,000.
Muy bien, señor Romo. La fianza para el caso que tiene una orden de arresto pendiente se fija la fianza en $25,000 y en relación al nuevo caso la fianza se fija en $1,000.
In both cases, the County Public Defender's Office is appointed as counsel.
Y en los dos casos se le asigna el abogado, un abogado defensor de la Oficina de Defensores del Condado.
For the warrant case, the arraignment date is set for February 3rd, 2025 at 1:30 p.m.
Para el caso que tiene la orden de arresto pendiente, la lectura de cargos se fija para I'm sorry, Your Honor, was that February 23rd? Para el 3 de febrero 2025 a la 1:30 de la tarde.
For the newest case, the preliminary hearing is set February 5th at 1:30 p.m.
Y para el caso nuevo que usted tiene, se fija la audiencia preliminar para el 5 de febrero a la 1:30 de la tarde.
Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you.
Su abogado estará en contacto con usted pronto. Gracias, señor. Your Honor, this is the interpreter. I don't think there's any more Spanish. If that is the case, the interpreter is.
Brooks.
What is your full name, please?
Mary Brooks.
Is it Malaya your middle name?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you are charged with unlawful possession of a dangerous drug, unlawful possession of narcotic drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. You do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I will hear from your attorney, Mr. Goodman.
Your Honor, the state is recommending $1,000 bond with pretrial in lieu of no bond and a smart court hearing date for this. Looks like she's already on felony release for an indicted case and also a second case which she recently failed out of steps for and is currently set for preliminary hearings.
Defense counsel.
Judge, given the open warrant in the state's position regarding no bond, we would be in agreement with a $1,000 bond.
All right, Ms. Brooks, your bond is set at $1,000 plus release to pretrial services if you're able to post that bond, but you also are in custody on the other matter. If you were to get out of custody, you'll be released to supervision of pretrial services. You must comply with any monitored treatment they recommend. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your first hearing is set for a SMART hearing on February 4th at 9 a.m. Your preliminary hearing is set February 18th at 1:30 p.m. You also have 2 cases in warrant status out of city court. One case was a contributing to delinquency of minor charge. The other case was a shoplifting drug paraphernalia. I'm going to quash those warrants, release you, set your next court date in city court, February 28th at 9 a.m. And you'll see a judge in city court. And I'll let city court know that you're currently in custody on that felony case. You are excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yes.
What is your full name, please?
Rihanna Martinez.
What's your middle name, please?
Carmen.
You're charged with 1 count of aggravated DUI. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty. You do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. You do have an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I'll hear from your attorney, Mr. Goodman.
Your Honor, we're essentially recommending a $7,500 bond with pretrial just based on the fact she's pending a DUI out of Maricopa County that allegedly occurred much less than a year ago out that way. So that's the reason for the state's recommendation.
Defense counsel?
Judge, we would be asking for her release in this case. I would like to note that she does have substantial ties to the community. She's been a lifelong Tucson resident, and her mother has confirmed housing with her. It is true that there is a pending misdemeanor DUI up in Maricopa County, but I do believe that's been just recently refiled from the looks on my pretrial services, and she has just moved residences about a month ago from my review as well. So it's possible she may have not even had noticed that that's now fully pending up in Maricopa County, given the change of residence. And Judge, she has no felony criminal history. I would like to note as well, weighing towards her release.
Ms. Martinez, your bond is set at $7,500, and it's because of that pending DUI case. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. If you were to get out of custody, you cannot drive without a valid license. You cannot drink any alcohol or take any illegal drugs. February 5th, 1:30 is your preliminary hearing. You also have, let's see, I believe that was it. Thank you. Sorry.
The attorney to see it.
Okay, so
That's like.
What is your full name, please?
It's like on good senior.
I'm sorry, say your name again, please.
James Michael McGill Senior.
All right, so Mr. Miguel, it looks like you have a fugitive warrant for your arrest out of New Mexico. It involved charges of burglary of a vehicle, unlawful taking of a vehicle, and criminal damage. The alleged incident date was from November 3rd, 2024. I am going to quash the warrant, enter pleas of not guilty. The state is asking that I set a $10,000 bond in your case. And I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their reasoning, and then I'll hear from your attorney. Defense counsel, Mr. Goodman?
Your Honor, I believe the fugitive warrant doesn't list a bond amount. State feels $10,000 cash secured is appropriate, given that he was already given a chance to appear out of custody on, I believe, their version of pretrial services. He's got several misdemeanor warrants out for his arrest. He incurred a new misdemeanor matter locally, and it doesn't look like he has a known residence, as well as being maxed out on both scales.
Defense counsel?
Judge, we would be asking for a much more reasonable bond of $1,100, given that he is indigent and homeless at this time. Thank you.
Mr. Miguel, your bond set at $7,500. No contact with the alleged victims in that case. The legal defender's office is going to help you with that extradition matter. Your next hearing date in Superior Court's January 30th, 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. You also had 2 warrants for your arrest at a justice court. One case was for a criminal damage theft case from March 30th of 2022. And then you had another theft, criminal damage, drug paraphernalia case from August 17th of 2023. For both of those cases, I am going to release you. Your next court date in justice court is going to be February 25th at 8:30 a.m. on both cases. And I will let Justice Court know that you are in custody on the felony matters. You also had cases out of city court, warrants for your arrest on a criminal trespass matter, a separate case for criminal trespass, drug paraphernalia, and then a third case for drug paraphernalia. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. I'm going to release you on those cases and set your next hearing date in city court on February 28th at 9 a.m. And I'll let city court know that you have a case pending in your fugitive case. You're in custody. All right, you're excused. Thank you.
Excuse me. Yeah.
What is your full name, please?
David Joseph Newman.
Mr. Noonan, you have 2 separate felony cases. One case is from January 23rd, 2025. It was for a charge of unlawful flight from law enforcement, 2 counts of weapons misconduct. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. The other case is from January 26th, today's date, for 2 counts of being a prohibited possession of a prohibited weapon, unlawful possession of narcotic drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. In both cases, I need to let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent to be represented by an attorney. You do have an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearings. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I will hear from your attorney. Mr. Goodman.
Your Honor, the state's recommending $7,500 cash secured with pretrial for each based on the criminal history, the nature of the offenses, and his probation status out of Cochise County.
I believe he does have a probation hold. All right, defense counsel?
Yes, Judge, given the probation hold out of Cochise County, we would be asking for a reasonable bond of $1,100.
Mr. Noonan, in both cases, your bonds are separate bonds of $7,500. In the, let's see, what case is this? Both cases, you cannot possess any firearms. Both cases, public defender's office is appointed to represent you. In both cases, your preliminary hearing is set for February 5th at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you. What is your full name, please?
Jason Alexander Slavin.
All right, you are charged with unlawful possession of narcotic drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. You do have a constitutional right to remain silent to be represented by an attorney. You do have an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I will hear from your attorney. Mr. Goodman.
Your Honor, the state's recommending a $5,000 bond with pretrial services in lieu of no bond. And in addition to a smart hearing, he is already on felony release for a drug sales and weapons offense matter, it would appear.
Defense counsel.
Judge, given the state's position regarding the no bond hold, we would be asking for a more reasonable bond of $1,100.
Mr. Schlotman, I could hold you on without bond, but my hands are tied and I have to set the bond at $5,000 plus release the pretrial services. If you're able to post that bond, you must comply with any monitoring treatment as directed by pretrial services. Your first hearing is called a smart hearing. It is set for February 4th at 9 a.m. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is going to be February 5th at 1:30 p.m. Thank you. You are excused.
Dylan.
What is your full name, please?
Dylan Jacob Shidlava.
Mr. Siglowka, looks like you were arrested for charges of unlawful possession of dangerous drug, unlawful possession of narcotic drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. The state has made a decision at this time to dismiss your case, so I have dismissed your case without prejudice, which means that the state could refile this case at some later point. If you receive notice that this case has been refiled, then you will have to appear in court for an arraignment date. You still have a probation hold on you, so even though I'm releasing you on this new case, you're still going to stay in custody. Thank you. You're excused.
Oh.
Okay. The victim on Valles Fuentes, if you could hit *6, we appreciate it. What is your full name, please?
Manuel Valles Fuentes.
All right, so it looks like you're charged with domestic violence disorderly conduct involving a weapon and discharging a firearm within the city limits. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty. I need to let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I will hear from your attorney. Also, there is a victim present. So the victim in this case, you want to be heard regarding release conditions or no release?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. You can go ahead and make your statement.
Myself, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't feel that Damien is a danger to me or the children. I feel like the alcohol has a big toll right now on him, and I would love for him to come home if that was a possibility. But honestly, I don't. This is really hard to go through at this time. But I just hope you hear me out and just know that I don't feel that he is a danger to our safety or anyone else's. It's just more of the alcohol being an issue.
Thank you. Mr. Goodman?
You able to hear me, Your Honor?
Yes.
Uh, Your Honor, that type of input is not uncommon in these types of cases. Whether alcohol was involved or not, he fired a gun and said everyone was going to die and took the victim's phone, broke it. In addition to her being present, 4 minor children, or at least minor victims, not necessarily everyone being a young child, were present. So the state feels the high requested bond is appropriate.
Defense counsel?
Judge, I understand the state's concerns with the allegations in this case, and I know Damien does as well, Judge. He is asking for his release today, not to the family home where the victim resides and where the minor victims resides, but he would like to reside with his aunt. Her name is Acela. I have contacted her personally, confirmed that housing and support is available. Damien does want you to know that he is the sole provider for this family. And with the victim's desires, I believe that with enhanced pretrial services, as well as, substance abuse monitoring and treatment, and still, no physical contact at the very least with the alleged victim, that should be sufficient to show that he's not a harm to her, or the family, at least not a continuing harm. I would like to also note, Judge, that as far as the other factors that go into weighing his release, he has no priors, he has no failures to appear that are available to me that I noticed. He is gainfully employed in Tucson, so he does not pose a flight risk, and he has a strong community base here locally. So, Judge, those factors do weigh towards his release. If you're not inclined to release him, Judge, I would ask that you impose a more reasonable bond of $1,100, noting that he is indigent and requires appointed counsel.
Mr. Valles-Fuentes, because of the alleged nature of the facts of this case, your bond is set at $50,000 plus release of pretrial services. If you're able to post that bond, you must comply with any monitored treatment as directed by pretrial services. You are not allowed to contact Monique or the children, go to where they live. You're not allowed to possess any firearms or weapons, commit no further acts of domestic violence, drink or possess no alcohol or any illegal drugs. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set February 5th at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you. Thank you.
Wilson.
What is your full name, please?
Selena Esther Wilson.
Ms. Wilson, looks like you had a warrant for your arrest out of Maricopa County. It was for a charge of unlawful possession of a dangerous drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. The alleged incident date was from April 26th of 2024. I'm going to quash the warrant, enter pleas of not guilty, let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent and to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. Maricopa County is asking for a $250 bond. Defense counsel?
One moment, let me speak with it.
Okay.
Judge, we would be asking for Miss Wilson's release. She has informed me that she does have transport up to Phoenix. She is currently fleeing a domestic violence situation. And she has gotten in contact with the court to set up what she had said was a hearing to quash on the 5th of February. And when she contacted the police about the alleged domestic violence situation, they ran her name and found these warrants and arrested her when she was trying to get help in her situation. So, Judge, given that the bond amount requested is low, given that she has no prior felony history, and that these are these are narcotic drug cases, I believe that she's not a threat to the community, and she should be released and allowed to make her way up to Maricopa to handle these on herself. Thank you.
Ms. Wilson, your bond set at $250. It's secured. I'll appoint the Maricopa County Public Defender's Office to represent you. You'll have a review hearing here February 26, 2025 at 9 a.m. to see if you're still in custody. All right, thank you. You're excused. All right, we can go off. All right, everyone's
it, I'm already there.
Everyone, please be seated. He's going to appear in person.
Okay.
Online. That's what she means by that. I thought she meant you can be here in person.
Just like the
Okay. All right, good evening, everybody. This is the 8 o'clock calendar, January 26th, 2025. The court orders for taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. When I call your name, come behind the podium and give me your name and date of birth. When I talk about the release conditions, I'm not going to mention all of them, but they'll be on your paperwork. I will tell you all of you will have at least a condition: no drugs without a valid prescription and not to drive without a valid prescription. If I set a security appearance bond on you, you can go to a bondsman. My understanding is they collect calls, and some of the laws have lists of the bonding companies. If you can't find it, you can ask one of the officers to give you that information. Okay. All right. Strawbridge, Hunter Strawbridge.
Hunter Strawberries, 2695.
All right, sir, you are charged with one count of murder in the second degree and one count of aggravated assault that's class 1 misdemeanor, and aggravated assault, a class 3 felony. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. How come it's not bolded on the court date? See what I mean?
What?
It's not bold. Okay. Anyway, sir, your next court date, you'll have a status conference on January 31st at 8:30. At this point, a witness preliminary hearing is set for February 4th at 8:30. Your lawyer will explain to you what I mean. It's at this time it's scheduled. You can't go back to the scene of the alleged crime, initiate contact with any alleged victim or victims or the representatives, and can't initiate contact with any alleged complainant or witnesses. Can't possess any weapons, can't consume any alcohol. All right. If you are able to post bond, you'll be wearing an ankle bracelet, and you'll be a curfew. You can only leave home during hours approved by the pretrial services officer. The officer will give you a packet in regard to that. Bond is set in the amount of a cash bond of $1 million. Step to your left, please. Ivari Gooden.
Good afternoon, sir.
Your name and date of birth, please.
Avery Shamar Gooden, 2003, August 31st.
All right, sir, I'm appointing a lawyer for you also. You are charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument. It's actually, they got that wrong. I got to change it. It's class 3 felony. Anyway, you're charged 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, Class 3 felony, 1 count of aggravated assault on an officer, Class 5 felony, and 1 count of unlawful discharge of a firearm in city limits, Class 6 felony, and resisting arrest, Class 6 felony. I did find extraordinary circumstances to allow you to be here past the 24 hours because it's my understanding you were, because your injuries occurred during the incident and you were at the hospital and you had, among other things. So I did allow that. I also note that the threats you've made in terms of what might happen in the future. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. You'll have your status conference on January 31st at 8:30. At this point, a preliminary hearing is set for February 4th at 8:30. That's at 175 West Madison Street in Phoenix. No weapons. If you post the bond, you'll also have an ankle bracelet with a curfew. You can only leave during hours as set forth by the pretrial services. If you remove it, it'll be a felony, and it'll be a cash bond of $100,000. Step to your left, please. To your left. Marcus Rivera. Sir, your name and date of birth, please.
Marcus Rivera, 4888.
All right, sir, I'm appointing a lawyer for you. In this one, you're charged with 1 count of transportation and or sale of dangerous drugs, Class 2 felony, being prohibited possessor of a weapon, Class 4 felony, carrying a weapon in commission of felony offense, that's Class 6 felony, and carrying a deadly weapon, failing to admit, Class 1 misdemeanor. I did not show that there'd been any lab test or anything, nothing to identify sufficient to identify the drugs. So in regard to the dangerous drug charge, I don't find probable cause. Does not mean you're not going to be charged with it. It just means at this point I'm not considering it. All right. As I said, I appointed a lawyer for you. You'll be at 175 West Madison Street for a status conference on January 31st, 8:30, and a witness preliminary hearing on February 4th at 8:30. No weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. Your bond is a security appearance bond amount of $25,000. Step to your left, please. Oreste Young. Oreste Young. All right, sir, your name and date of birth, please.
Oreste Young, and my birthday is 11/8/82.
Okay, so you're charged, you have an arrest warrant for 2 counts of aggravated DUI based on suspension or revocation for DUI, Class 4 felony, appointing a lawyer for you. You're not to possess any weapons, no alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription. Your next court date will be January 31st at 8:30, and a witness preliminary hearing February 4th at 8:30 at 175 West Madison Street. Another judge was asked the bond be set in the amount of $50,000 based on your past history. In fact, you just got off probation in that other state and all your prior DUIs. But I'm going to reduce it to $20,000 security appearance bond. Okay. All right, step to your left, please.
Your Honor.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to state that, that I didn't know that I had
I know that. I'm aware of that. I'm saying another judge made it based on certain other factors, want that much higher amount. I thought that was too high, so I set it at 20. All right, so step to your left, please. Okay, next one up is Zora Caranta. All right, your name and date of birth, please.
Zora Caranta, 8/25/1967.
Okay, ma'am. just go over one thing with you. Okay, ma'am, you're here because a bond surrender has been sought by your bail bond company in your case involving the charges of possession of dangerous drugs, possession and 2 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia. That's class 4 and 2 class 6s. The court has already determined whether or not you're appointed to a court-appointed attorney, so I won't make that finding again. And so your next court date will be January 31st at 8:30 for a status conference and a preliminary hearing on February 4th at 2:25 at 8:30 in the morning. I'm reinstating the previous bond of $3,000.
Can I ask a question? Can I get out on pretrial release or something?
See,
I can't.
Your bonding company surrendered you.
I know.
And so, that's not
That's not an option.
I know, let's put it this way, it's not a good indicator that a person would be reliable and show up for court. I'm just telling you, I only have that limited information.
Well, I have other court.
Okay.
I have other court dates.
Okay, well then if you're in custody and you're in custody in there, they'll transport you or let them know, let your lawyer know about it, all right? Step to your left, please.
Thank you.
Daniel Lopez.
Daniel Lopez, 0409-1984.
All right, you got 2 matters. One is a bench warrant out of Superior Court on possession of narcotic drugs, class 4, and class 6 possession of drug paraphernalia. You already have a lawyer. You'll be at 175 West Madison at 8:30 on January 31st for a status conference and a witness preliminary hearing on February 4th. You already have an attorney on that, and your judge set bond amount of $2,500. Now you have a new case, another one, an arrest warrant. And I know you hadn't appeared in court on it, for 2 counts of aggravated DUI. These are alleged to have occurred in February of 2024, by the way. 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia. Now, that other court had set bond for you in the amount of $2,500. I'm reducing it to $1,000 security appearance bond. So you add them all together and you'll be able to get out, but make sure you make all your court dates. Same court dates, January 31st and February 4th. All right, step to your left, please. Ian Spencer. Okay, so your name and date of birth, please.
Ian Spencer, 10/13/95.
Okay, you got a probation violation, warrant. You're on probation for possession of drug paraphernalia. You're alleged to have violated terms 1 and 3. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. You'll have your probation revocation arraignment hearing at 201 West Jefferson on January 31st at 8:30 in the morning. And obviously, if you get out, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. You can't possess any weapons, you can't possess or consume any alcohol, and no drugs without a valid prescription. Another judge has already set bond for you in the amount of $250. All right, secured appearance bond. Okay, so you get out, make sure you contact your probation officer. All right, step to your left, please. Laura Baune, B-A-U-N-E. Your name and date of birth, please.
Laura Jane Bonnie, 5/20/1986.
Okay, you got 2 warrants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, both out of San Marcos Justice Court.
Mm-hmm.
One is for assault, and the other one is for criminal trespass. And on both of them, apparently, you were supposed to do counseling or classes, and that's why you had the warrants. All right. What I've done is I've reduced your bonds in regard to both of them. So one was they wanted to be $250, and the other one they asked for another $250. So they went to a $500 bond, and one of them the court noted was your 9th warrant. So I mean, I'm going to post a set of bond, a security appearance bond, of $50 each. So it's a total of $100.
Okay.
You haven't made that judge very happy. So I suggest you start working on it real quickly. Get those counseling and the class is done. Okay. You don't have to say anything. I'm just telling you, in your best interest, start moving on that, or else they'll keep you longer than you really want to.
Okay.
Okay. Step to your left, please.
Thank you.
Tony Santos. Hi,
Tony Santos, 81278.
78, right?
Yes.
Okay, sounded a whole lot different. I thought you said 38, and you don't look that old. Okay, so you got a probation violation warrant on a Class 6 felony, I guess, possession of drug paraphernalia. You alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. Your revocation arraignment hearing will be February 3rd at 8:30, 201 West Jefferson. If you get out, obviously contact your probation officer, 72 hours. Same thing, no weapons, no alcohol, and no drugs without a valid prescription. Another judge has set bond for you in the amount of $250, security appearance bond. If you get out, make sure you contact your probation officer and come to court. All right? All right. Step to your left, please.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, let's go over the reasons for the house calls, because we have three, well, at least two of them, because we, have those three FOJs. All right. Shelby Allman.
She refused to come to court.
What?
Refused to come to court.
She wouldn't come to court?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll come to her then. She's got 3 matters. All 3 are probation violations. Appoint a lawyer for her on all 3. On all of them, she'll have a probation revocation arraignment hearing on February 3rd at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. She alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. In regard to CR 2021-138873, bond is set in the amount of $50. On all of them, she can't possess any weapons, no alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription. She has to contact her probation officer within 72 hours. Those things apply to all 3. In CR 2023-138270, another probation violation matter, bond is set in the amount of $250. And finally, in 2022-030256, on probation on another Class 6, and another judge set bond amount of $1,000. Once again, the same alleged violations, terms 3 and 5. Okay. And Zachary Priest, what was that a house call?
Medical ISO.
Medical.
Your
Honor,
Honor, the state here on that matter.
I know, 1 second. I know that. I'm saying, what was the medical reason?
He has a big cut on his head.
He shot.
What's that? Just like a big gash on his head.
Big gash on his head, and so he's in medical?
Staples.
Okay, so he can't be brought here because of the wound?
He can't talk.
Oh, he can't talk.
Brain injury, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, now a couple things. Now the state can announce, please.
Good evening, Your Honor. Ashley Stepson on behalf of the state.
Okay. You said you wanted to appear actually on number 20. I think you actually wanted to appear on number 19.
Oh, that might be it. I just saw number 20, and I didn't realize initially that he had a fugitive of justice.
Okay. Well, on number 20, it's a fugitive of justice. Since he's not here, what we do is that we're going to reset this for February 3rd at 1:30 p.m. We'll see probably Commissioner Spencer in regard to that. And I just want to mention, he shall have no contact with the alleged victims or victims. Okay, so in the meantime, since we're just resetting it, he'll be held with a bond at this time. Now, number 19, and by the way, he's on probation for the following things, just so we put it on the record. And attempted kidnapping, first-degree felony, aggravated burglary, first-degree felony, aggravated assault, third-degree felony. This is out of the Utah in the Provo District Court. Domestic violence, presence of a child with injury, weapon, or death, Class 3 felony, and retaliation against a witness, victim, or informant, degree felony. They are asking for it to be held non-bondable, but it's not a probation violation, so I would have to have said bond if he wanted to give him that option.
Your Honor, pursuant to Court Rule 7.2, it does.
That's only number 19, though.
Okay.
Okay. Tell you what, I think I have to. Okay, number 19. I know it's the state's position, and please correct me if I'm wrong in regard to this. He's charged with stalking a Class 3 felony because that's a fear of imminent death, not fear of safety. Fear of imminent death. That's a Class 3 felony. Kidnapping, a Class 3 felony. Possession of weapon by prohibited person and interference with judicial proceedings, Class 1 misdemeanor. One thing I just do want the state's input in regard to it, but give me 1 second on that. Where's the kidnapping?
Thank you.
Your Honor, I do believe, based on the Form 4, that there wasn't the intent to kidnap. If Your Honor would look to the items that were located by Glendale Police Department, there were. Let me pull up the Form 4.
Yeah, I know they had a whole bunch of items in regard to that, but he's charged with kidnapping, not attempted. Number 1. All right. I will tell you this. I do find probable cause in regard to the stalking charge and possession of weapon by a prohibited person. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Anything else you wanted to say?
No, Your Honor. I apologize. Did you are you holding him non-bondable on this one based on his?
I just want to know if you had any comments in regard to facts or anything like that. I'm appointing a lawyer for him. His next, and I have to add, even though it's FOJ, I guess we still need a hearing. Court dates will be January 31st at 8:30, and witness from the hearing on February 4th. And you can't have any contact with the alleged victim or any complainant or witness. No weapons, no alcohol, no drugs. And I find, because part of the warrant, I found out he was out on release for felonies in Utah. So pursuant to Rule 7.2b, he will be held without bond because I do find probable cause in regard to stalking and the prohibited possessor charge. So, anything else in the state?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. I think that leaves us with Shelby Allman. Why is she a house call?
She refused to come into court.
She's what?
She refused to come into court.
Okay. I didn't do her case yet, did I? No. Okay. Did I do her?
No, you didn't do her case.
Okay. I didn't. What? So I have to do 10, 11, and 12, and then 13, 16, right? But we haven't done her, Ashley Allman. Okay, she's got 3 probation violations, and I think I already said it on the record, though, didn't I? I thought so.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's bring Mr. Martin back.
Good evening, sir.
All right, once again, give me your name and date of birth.
020586.
Okay, as I said, the other 2 matters, Justice Court matters, were taken care of at 5 o'clock on this calendar, and so I wanted to see what we had. I already indicated the date of birth was the same, and other facts, and so I just wanted to verify certain other things to see if it jived. Okay, the Sheriff's Department has done some checking in regard to it, found out it's the same fingerprint, and the SID numbers are the same. So, based on the information I have right now,
I've never been arrested. I was never arrested there.
Well,
they never got my fingerprints. I've never been to jail in Texas, sir.
Well,
never.
Well, let's put it this way. Oh, I think I understand what you're saying, because before I thought you were saying it was,
I've never been arrested, I've never got
okay,
fingerprinted,
okay,
never
let
seen
me
a
explain
judge.
something to you also.
Yes, sir.
I have a feeling I know what's going down now. Okay, that's why. Now I misunderstood you before. I thought you were saying you weren't the same person, because you said you were.
Yeah, no, I wasn't, I never went to jail or anything, I never
No,
was charged.
let me finish.
That wasn't me.
Let me finish this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, sir, and I assume Texas is the same. Like, I'll just give you what happens in Arizona. When a person is indicted, it's a closed proceeding, and the person won't necessarily do it. You were indicted in Texas.
I was never indicted, sir.
How do you know that?
Huh?
How do you know that?
Because I never seen a judge, I never was arrested, I never got a notice or anything.
Sir,
Yes,
listen to me. Until it's served upon you, it's secret. That's the way indictments work. So you have an indictment against you that was filed on June 16th, 2023.
I haven't even lived out there.
Okay, I'm just telling you, that's when the indictment is. I don't necessarily have the date in which it's alleged to have occurred. All right. So let's go back to the situation right now. You were given a laminated sheet.
I didn't really understand it.
Do you understand it?
Not really. Can you explain it to me?
Well, no. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to reset it for another court date. It will be February 3rd. At 1:30, you'll see another judge. Go over your rights again, give you a chance to think about it, and you can talk to anyone you want to. I'm trying to find out about this case, but I've already told you.
Do I have a bond set?
What? Actually, yeah, it's going. I'll be right back with you. I just want to double check one thing. Well, with one issue here, sir, Harris, according to the information here, Harris County doesn't even accept out-of-state bonds. Okay, but it's not going to be an issue.
I mean, I could set it right now. If I could figure out the amount, I could get it done right now.
It would be $100,000 cash.
$100,000 cash. I can't say it has to be cash. Can't be 10% or anything.
No, it'd be cash.
Can I call a bills bond and get the?
It could be cash.
Has to be cash.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to reset it for February 3rd.
What are my options?
Well, okay, let's go. If you want to, I'll go over it again. Go over it for you. Make sure you understand it. Okay. A warrant's been issued by the state of Texas.
Wow.
Okay. The state wants you back on the warrant. Okay.
Ain't no killer, ain't no.
You have a choice to make at this time. You can either decide to give up your right to an extradition hearing, be sent back to Texas within 30 days, or you can demand an extradition hearing, and a governor's warrant would have to be signed by the governors of both Arizona and Texas before you can go back to Texas. If you decide to waive your right to an extradition hearing, you'd be held non-bondable in Maricopa County for a period of 30 days to allow time for Texas to come for you. Now, that 30 days would not begin as long as you have any criminal charges against you in Arizona, which you do have. If you do have criminal charges pending against you in Arizona, the 30 days would not begin until those charges are resolved. If you decide to have an extradition hearing, I'll set your hearing at a date, like I mentioned before already, February 3rd, you'll see another judge, okay, and that'll be at 201 West Jefferson. I cannot appoint a lawyer to represent you because extradition matters are civil in nature, but you have the right to hire a lawyer at your expense if you decide to do so. You are entitled to bond, which in this case, which I mentioned would be $100,000 cash. If you're unable to post your bond, you'd be held in custody during that time or until another judge modifies your bond. Okay, a governor's warrant signed by the governors of both states is required to extradite you to Texas. That could take up to 90 days. Do you know what you'd like to do?
Okay, so quick question. So the hearing that you're saying is going to be on February 3rd.
Well, it's not a hearing. You'll be seeing another judge.
Okay, but what does that mean? Will I have an opportunity to be released?
Well, you could always ask the judge to see if he or she will modify the bond.
Can you modify it?
I'm not going to. This is the bond I'm setting. Because right now, I think Texas would rather have you held to no bond.
Can I explain, can I have the floor to say anything?
Can you what?
Can I have the floor to say something?
Go ahead.
So, I have a kid on the way. I just started a job with Intel.
Well, sir, that's the least of your troubles.
I know, I've been paying all my fines and everything with my tickets, and I'm willing to pay my tickets right now.
The issue is not necessarily so much between you and Arizona, though you do have a couple of charges in regard to that.
I'm taking care of it. I can pay it right now.
Okay, but your biggest problem is based on charges is between you and Texas.
I haven't even seen the judge. I ain't been fingerprinted. I don't even know how to fingerprint. It's fraud.
It's an indictment.
It's fraud, though. It's fraud. How they gonna indict me and I didn't commit a crime? It's fraud.
Well, sir, I'm just gonna set this for February 3rd at 1:30. All right, step to your right, please. Left to me. Step to your left, please.
Come on, we'll bring you your paperwork. That wasn't his paperwork. Yeah. No, it was for the house.
Did it show different? Okay. Rosa, is that everything?
We need one more.
Which one?
Number 13.
13?
Yeah, that's another good.
Oh, Mr. Chavis. Yeah. George Chavis.
Let's make sure he gets it. This way it's on camera that he got it.
By the way, what's it? Number.
The last two are the house.
Yeah, hold on. Number 20. Remember, I got to change that, by the way.
Okay.
Let me just look at it. I'm changing it on Mr. Priest because it's not. I'm changing it to $100,000 cash. Okay.
Given that you can color the
Hold on a second, I'm just doing. Yeah.
for number 9. As I'm calling you to the entry.
Yeah.
Okay, I clicked one now.
And what was the other one? I don't know, it wasn't bold, remember?
I know, it's not good. Hold on.
Is Mr. Chavis here? Yeah. Okay.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Okay. Well, I'm saying, we do all the fugitive justice cases last. That's why. We do all the fugitive justice cases last because they take longer.
Okay.
Yours is an even different situation from the other two folks.
I can't.
Yours is a little bit different from the other two, and I'll explain to you why. First of all, give me your name and date of birth, please.
My name is George Timothy Chavis III. My birthday is 4/1/83.
Okay.
I'm kind of having trouble of hearing you a little bit.
All right. Can you give him headphones? At the end of the day, my voice isn't very strong.
I know.
Let's try the headphones. Oh, sorry, they'll give it to you. The officer will do it. How's that, better? Better?
Yes, better.
Okay, so still let me know if you can't hear anything, okay?
All right.
All right. All right, sir, you've got a warrant from the Fulton County, Georgia, on a probation violation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you read that laminated sheet?
Can he bring it to me real quick?
Sure. If he has it.
It's like right there on the chair right there, because I have a couple of questions I want to ask you, because I couldn't.
That's fine, but he needs a laminated sheet.
He had it, he read it.
He
No,
still has to
I'm
look
saying
at
I
it
have
again.
a couple of questions to
Yeah.
ask him.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay, sir, because I'm going to go over stuff with you, but if you have a set of questions first, let's go there.
What part you gonna go from the?
I didn't go over it, all of it, so just tell me what you have a question about.
The question I had was, where it said, the Arizona governor has 90 days from the date of your arrest to ensure.
Well, it starts tomorrow. Both, the governors of both Arizona and Georgia would have to sign it before he can be sent back. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. Like, you saying that you guys have to sign it?
Both states have to sign it.
Okay.
That's if you want to have a hearing. Okay, so let me go over everything with you. Maybe that can answer your question, okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay. A warrant, and I have to read a lot of stuff to you, so just bear in mind. A warrant for your arrest has been issued by the state of Georgia. That state wants you back on this warrant. You've read the paperwork, but you have a couple questions. If you still have questions, I'm going to just reset it to another court date where you'll be seeing another judge, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And if after I'm done, if you have any questions, please let me know, okay? As I said earlier, you have the warrant from the state of Georgia. You have a choice to make at this time unless you're unsure. You can choose to give up your right to an extradition hearing and be sent back to Georgia within 30 days, or you can demand an extradition hearing and a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both Arizona and Georgia before you're sent back to the state of Georgia. If you decide to give up your right to an extradition hearing, you'll be held non-bondable in Maricopa County for a period of up to 30 days to allow time for Georgia to come for you. They've already indicated they want to extradite you. That 30 days would start tomorrow, as long as you don't have any criminal charges pending against you anywhere in Arizona. If you do have criminal charges pending against you in Arizona, the 30-day period will not start until those charges are resolved. If you decide to have an extradition hearing, I'll set a hearing for you you'll see a judge again on February 3rd at 1:30. And another judge will go over everything with you again. I cannot appoint a lawyer to represent you because extradition hearings matters are civil in nature, but you have a right to hire a lawyer at your own expense if you decide to do so. You are not entitled to bond either way because the arrest warrant is for a probation violation. A governor's warrant signed by the governors of both states is required to extradite you to Georgia. That process could take up to 90 days. Does that help understanding things?
Yeah, so if they don't come in 90 days,
you're out.
So if they don't, say for instance, if you guys sign the paperwork and then Georgia signs the paperwork in the 30 days, and if they don't come?
No. If they're supposed to sign it, if you want to have an extradition hearing, they have up to 90 days. If you want to give up, because you have a right to contest the extradition. If you don't want to contest the extradition, they have up to 30 days to get you.
And if they don't come in at 30?
You're out.
So I can say right now, all right, 30 days, give up my rights for 30 days, and if they don't come in 30 days, if they don't come by next...
Starting tomorrow, unless you have local charges, anywhere in Arizona.
Do I have any local charges?
I'm not aware of anything. You would know better than I do.
Oh, okay. So I just want to get a clear understanding. If I say, okay, man, the 30 days, Georgia to come get me, right?
Right.
They don't come get me in the 30 days.
They have up to 30 days to come get you if you waive your right to an extradition hearing.
And if they don't come in them 30 days?
They have up to 30 days.
They have up to 30 days. So they can...
up to 30 days.
Huh?
So they have 29, they have 30 days, not 31 or 32.
All right. So if they don't come in them 30 days, they got to let me go.
Right.
But
if
I waive my rights for 90 days...
You're not waiving your right for 90 days. That's when you're asking for a hearing. You're not giving up your right to a hearing. Then they have to, come to you within 90 days, and the governors of both states have to sign the warrant.
I'm just like this, to tell you the truth, Your Honor. You know, Judge, this is not a really no big deal, you know.
Well, that's between you and Georgia.
I know, that's what I'm trying to.
I don't know anything.
I'm letting you know, this is not no big deal, and I didn't murder nobody, I didn't do anything like that. I just missed a court date, you know what I'm saying? So I'll just want to just give up my rights to let them come get me.
Okay, so I got to ask you a bunch of questions, okay?
All right.
And make sure you understand them all.
All right.
Okay? I understand this time you do want to sign the waiver of extradition. I need to ask you some questions to make a record of the proceedings. You have read the waiver of extradition paperwork?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Do not have to sign the paperwork.
Huh?
Do you understand you don't have to sign the paperwork waiving the extradition?
It's fine with me.
You understand that?
I understand that.
Do you understand you have a right to have an extradition hearing?
What do you mean by that?
You have a right to have the extradition hearing. Remember I said about the 90-day thing? You have a right to contest the extradition.
So I have a right to be like, nah, I don't want to do it.
Then they have up to 90 days.
All right.
Now, do you understand you have the right to an extradition hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand you have a right to hire a lawyer at your own expense?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to demand that governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before you're returned?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you do not have the right to bond because it's a probation violation?
Of course.
Okay. And do you want to give up those rights and sign the paperwork?
Yes.
Has anyone threatened you, promised you, or
no, sir,
at all to get you to sign this paperwork?
No, sir.
Have you used any drugs, alcohol, or any medicine in the last 24 hours that would affect your ability to understand these proceedings?
No, sir.
All right, I find you've knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily are signing the waiver. I'm also signing it. I'm directing the sheriff's office to notify Georgia that you're ready to return. They'll have 30 days from tomorrow to pick you up unless there are local charges pending. If there are local charges pending, the 30 days will not start until the conclusion of that case.
And I have another question.
Sure.
Do I have any charges in Arizona?
I don't see anything. You can ask the officers to show anything. Oh, he's right here.
Yeah. Can you check and see, do I have any pending charges? He said that you could.
Well, no, just wait. No, he can tell you whether any holds against you.
Do I have any holds?
No, no holds right now.
Yeah.
Okay. You should know better than anyone else is looking for.
I do know better because I don't do anything.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that.
All we can tell you is that you don't have any holds. Okay? And that's all I can tell you, all right?
All right.
All right, so let me just tell you this.
I'm ready to get this over with. Judge Pro, right?
Well, it just means, pro tem, that means I'm retired, I come back to do work, okay?
So if they don't come in them 90 days,
yeah.
I mean, the 30 days.
Sir, I can only answer that the same way 14 times.
I'll just...
Okay, if you get out, by the way, you have to contact your probation officer within 72 hours.
That's fine.
No weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no alcohol.
Okay.
Okay? Some other things. Okay, sir, now step over there.
Do I take this with me?
Yeah.
Sign it. All right.
One more.
Smart, bro. It's smart to do it that way. Okay. Call back, man. It's not me, it's probation. You know what I'm saying?
appreciate you too, Judge.
Okay, good luck to you, sir. As I said, I can't speak about what happens in jury.
Hello, hello. So I just want to go ahead and give you guys the next session is going to be at 10 p.m. So that'll be 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hello, hello. So I just want to go ahead and give you guys the next session is going to be, and that'll be in 2 hours and 14 minutes. Also, if you look at that, if you look down at the bottom on the ticker, I put all the other information as far as when the streams take place. So they're down at the bottom. It says 4 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 7 p.m., and 10 p.m. would be the last one. So feel free to go ahead and hang out. Most likely I'm going to transition back over to the other computer. But for the time being, I'll go ahead and leave the stream up. I'm not sure if you guys want to chat or whatever you guys want to do. I'll be back shortly, all right?
All right.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good evening. This is the time set for the 11 p.m. calendar on January 26, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. I'll call you each one at a time to the podium, and I'll provide a second name to sit in the chair right outside of this room. If we can start with Mr. Rodriguez Garcia to the podium and Mr. Peeler to the chair. Good evening, sir. Can I get your name and date of birth?
My name is George Rodriguez Garcia. My birthday is July 27, 2002.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like we're here on a new Superior Court case, and it does include some new charges. We have one count of kidnapping, a Class 2 felony, another count of kidnapping, interfering with government or police functions, Class 4 felony, one count of aggravated assault on a firefighter, EMT, or medic, a Class 6 felony, one count of resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony, one count of obstructing government operations, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and one count of disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. And I'm going to give you some hearings in the downtown Superior Court. You're going to have a status conference on January 31st, 2025 at 8:30 in the morning, and a preliminary hearing on February 4th, 2025 at 8:30 in the morning. In this case, you do have a secured appearance bond of $15,000. If you post that bond, you'll be released to pretrial services, and they will equip you with electronic monitoring. You'll also have release conditions, and those will be written in your paperwork, and they do include not returning to the scene of the crime, no contact with any alleged victims, witnesses, or arresting officers. You need to ensure that you attend those hearings to avoid any failure to appear warrants, as well as any forfeiture of any bond you may post. Did you have any questions?
No.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll hand you your paperwork, sir. Thank you. Mr. Peeler to the podium, and Mr. Jackson to the chair. Good evening, sir. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Sam Peeler, 32197.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like we do have a new Superior Court case this evening.
Absolutely.
It does include some new charges. One count of aggravated assault, violation of a protection order, Class 6 felony. 3 counts of aggravated assault on an officer, a Class 6 felony. 1 count of resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony. 1 count of disobeying an order of the court, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of criminal damage, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. I'm going to give you some hearings in the downtown Superior Courthouse, and the first one is going to be a status conference on January 31st at 8:30 in the morning, and a preliminary hearing on February 4th at 8:30 in the morning. In this case, you do have a secured appearance bond of $10,000.
Yes,
if you post that bond, you'll be released to pretrial services, and they'll equip you with electronic monitoring. In addition to that, you'll have written conditions of release, and it will include not returning to the scene of the crime, no contact with any alleged victims, witnesses, or complainants, no contact with any arresting officers, and you must obey all terms of any order of protection that has been issued or may be issued in the future. Did you have any questions?
No.
Okay. And can we please reprint that? If you'll take a seat up there, they'll give you your paperwork, okay? Mr. Jackson to the podium, and Mr. Alvis Young to the chair. Good evening,
Hello,
sir.
Your Honor. I'm Robert Jackson. January 28th, 1983 is my birthday.
Thank you for that. It does look like we're here on a new Superior Court case. And we've got some new charges. We've got 1 count of dangerous drug possession for sale, Class 2 felony, 1 count of theft means of transportation, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of burglary possession tools, a Class 6 felony, and 3 counts of theft control of stolen property, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. And I'm going to give you some hearings in the downtown Superior Courthouse. You're going to have a status conference on January 31st at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing on February 4th at 8:30 a.m. You do have a secured appearance bond of $7,500. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release. It does include not returning to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victims or witnesses. You need to ensure you attend those hearings to avoid any failure to appear warrants and forfeiture of any bonds you may post. Did you have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Because of circumstances, I'm asking may I be OR'd because I have no failure to appears, and I always show up, and I do have 7 kids and a wife, and so may I have the bond reduction also, or
So I did factor the 15 things within the statute when setting the bond, and I do also show that you have 3 prior failure to appears along with a couple of felony convictions. And so based on that, the bond will remain at the $7,500. However, because it is a secured appearance bond, it does mean you can use a bail bonding company, which is typically about 10% plus collateral. So when you get to the back next to the phones, they typically have multiple bonding companies that you can contact to see which contracts each of them offer. Any other questions, sir?
Also, can you just see in there that me and my wife have been going through some things, and we have 7 kids together, and we're trying to work out our marriage, but it's been a lot of false reports in there. And you can see in there that I have been let go numerous of times because of all these false reports. And this report incident, as we speak of, I was standing outside of a car with no drugs on me. They never seen me in a car, but they see me helping somebody with another car next to a stolen car. So under those circumstances, I shouldn't even be charged with whatever drugs that they found in a car that I never was in or that I never was even by. They never even see me touch this car.
So for purposes of tonight, we're not finding any guilt, and so that's why I am going to appoint an attorney for you. Although they are alleging that as a factor for tonight's purposes, and they may move forward with that charge, you are entitled to a trial. So when you speak to your attorney, you will meet with your attorney on January 31st. Provide that information to them because that may be useful for your trial going forward. Because it's the state that has indicated that that's what they intend to charge. But again, we're not finding any guilt today, and so you do have an opportunity to go to trial and fight that if you don't believe that that's an appropriate count.
And because you're so honorable, Judge, may I please have a bond reduction?
Unfortunately,
because
not
I have 7 kids, and I'm might be going through a divorce.
Unfortunately, the bond will remain tonight. If you are still in custody and you haven't posted that bond on January 31st, you can ask your attorney to make an argument to the court at that time for a bond reduction. If you'll please step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork, sir. Thank you. Mr. Young to the podium and Mr. Stevenson to the chair. Good evening, sir. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Alvis Ong, September 21st, 2005.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like we're here on a new Superior Court case, and it does include some new charges. We have 1 count of unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle, a Class 5 felony. We have 1 count of reckless driving, a Class 2 misdemeanor, and 1 count of exceeding the posted speed by over 20 miles per hour, a Class 3 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. And I'm going to give you some hearings in the downtown Superior Courthouse. You're going to have a status conference on January 31st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 4th at 8:30. In this case, you do have a secured appearance bond of $5,000. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release, and you need to ensure you attend those hearings to avoid any failure to appear warrants and forfeiture of any bonds you may post. Dates, times, and location of those hearings will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll hand you your paperwork. Thank you, sir. Mr. Stevenson to the podium and Ms. Hurtado to the chair. Good evening. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Calvin Stevenson, 51076.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like you're here on a failure to appear bench warrant that was issued for you. I'm going to affirm the attorney that was previously appointed to represent you and give you a status conference in the downtown Superior Courthouse on January 29th at 8:30 a.m. I am affirming the secured appearance bond that was set in the amount of $5,000 in this case. The previous release conditions that were provided will remain, and those written conditions will be included in your paperwork that you'll receive here. You'll need to ensure you attend this hearing on January 29th to avoid any future failure to appear warrants as well as any forfeiture of any bonds you may post on this case. Did you have any questions?
So, I still have to pay a bond to get out, or?
You'll have to post a $5,000 bond to be released. If you don't post that, you'll remain in custody until at least the hearing on January 29th.
Okay.
Anything else, sir?
No, that's it.
Okay, just step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Thank you, sir. Ms. Hurtado to the podium and Mr. Herrera to the chair. Good Good evening, ma'am. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Good evening, Olivia Award Hurtado, 11281.
Thank you, ma'am. And it does look like we're here on a new Superior Court case with some new charges. It does include 1 count of theft means of transportation, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of unlawful means of transportation or control, a Class 5 felony, and 1 count of knowingly displaying a false license plate, a Class 2 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you and give you some hearing dates. You're going to have a status conference on January 31st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 4th at 8:30.
Okay.
You do have a secured appearance bond in this case of $5,000.
Okay.
If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release that include not returning to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. Dates, times, and location of those hearings will be in your paperwork. You need to ensure you attend those to avoid a failure to appear warrant, as well as forfeiture of any bonds you might post. Did you have any questions?
I did. I had a couple of them. I am a California resident, and I have children back in Sacramento. I did get arrested out here, so I don't know how that works with me going back to California. So those are my questions for you.
So because you have a pending felony in the state of Arizona, you are not to leave the state while those charges are pending. And so you will be required to remain in the state of Arizona.
Okay.
You will meet with your attorney on January 31st. At that time,
Okay.
it is an opportunity you can speak with your attorney to see if they can make any request to the assigned judge at that time as to whether or not they're going to make an exception to that.
And that's when I speak to the judge then, or my...
You'll speak to your attorney, but then yes, you will see a judge on that day. Your first one will be January 31st. So today is the 26th. So you're looking at, today's Sunday night, it'll be Friday morning.
Right. And then I wanted to request, am I allowed to get OR'd or?
So today you do have a secured appearance bond, so you won't be released unless you post the $5,000 bond.
Okay.
If you don't post it, you'll remain in custody until at least that hearing on January 31st.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Mr. Herrera to the podium and Mr. Brown to the chair. Good evening. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Anthony Frank Herrera, 06/21/1998.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like we have 2 cases on the calendar here this evening. The first one is a new Superior Court case. It includes 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. And I'm going to give you some hearings. You're going to have a status conference January 31st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing February 4th at 8:30. In this case, you do have a secured appearance bond of $450. It does look like you're also on probation. And so when you were picked up for this new offense, it's a violation of term 1 of your probation. So I'm going to appoint counsel in that case as well, and you'll have a probation revocation hearing February 3rd at 8:30 a.m. And you have a secured appearance bond of $50 in that case. So between the 2 cases, it's a total bond of $500. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release. It will include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. You do have 3 upcoming hearings between the 2 cases. The first one being January 29th, so that's this upcoming Wednesday. You'll need to ensure you attend all those hearings. Dates, times, locations will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Yes, I do have one question. Me and my girlfriend, we just got an apartment literally less than a week ago, and we put all of our money into it. I'm just not positive that I'll have the money to make bond, and I don't want us to lose it. If you can check, I comply on probation. I've never failed. I've never been a flight risk or anything. So if I could just ask for the opportunity to get like a OR or maybe even a pre-trial or something, just to get me back out there, just so I can not lose what I just got, I would appreciate it.
So it looks like you were placed on probation in March of 2024.
Yeah.
And in that probation, the charges leading up to that did involve the use of a weapon. And so since you were just recently placed on probation and were already found in possession of a weapon, the bond tonight is going to stay at the $500.
Okay. That's another thing too. Like, so I was just in the car. I wasn't driving. It's not my car. I didn't have nothing to do with it. So that's why I'm still confused. I'm like, I feel like they're flagging me just based off of my priors, and I don't know.
So you aren't being found guilty tonight, and so you are being appointed counsel. And so that would be a good recommendation for you to tell your attorney as to why you believe you want to go to trial or you want to move forward with fighting those charges. There are things your attorney can do.
You said go to trial?
You're entitled to a
Oh,
trial.
okay, I'm sorry.
Doesn't mean you will go to trial. You'll speak to your attorney, and obviously they
Okay.
will discuss that further with you and make some suggestions moving forward in the court process. But you're entitled to a trial before you are found guilty. And so give all of that information to your attorney because they can use that as it relates to moving your case
I
forward.
appreciate it. So right now we're set for $500
It's
secured bond?
$500 secured bond. You can't use
Okay.
the bail bonding company. Your first hearing, again, is this Wednesday. That's the probation hearing, so you could resolve the probation issue that day. If not, you'll have your next hearing on the new charges January 31st.
Okay. A $500 secured means there's no 10%, right? It's the full 500?
Well, because it is a secured bond, you can use a bail bonding company, and it typically is 10%
Okay.
less collateral. That's up to each bail bonding company. Everybody's could be a little bit different
Okay.
on the percentage they require, but that's the average is 10%.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
I appreciate you. Have a good one.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Mr. Brown to the podium and Mr. Matthews to the chair. Good evening, sir. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Damani Brown, 7/23/98.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like you're here on a failure to appear bench warrant. Looks like you missed a hearing. I'm going to go ahead and affirm the attorney that was previously appointed to represent you. And I'm going to give you a status conference on February 5th at 8:30 a.m.
Okay.
I'm affirming the bond that was set in this case, which is a secured appearance bond of $500.
Okay.
The previous written conditions that were provided to you will remain in this case, which do include no contact with any alleged victims, witnesses, or complainants. Make sure you attend this upcoming hearing on February 5th to avoid any future failure to appear warrants, along with any forfeiture of any bonds.
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions?
If my attorney told me that, because my attorney told me I might not have to show up at that, on December 5th, I know that was the one they put my warrant out for, and I didn't show up, so, how would I go off of telling the next judge when I go to my hearing? Do I just let them know that I didn't know it, or? Because I don't want them to think I didn't go, and then even on January 9th, when I was supposed to show up, I showed up on Jefferson, I showed up, did everything, and then the judge told me I had a warrant. And she said that I had to call my attorney. I called my attorney, but he never answered me. I got back to me, so.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why they would tell you that because nothing was vacated in the court file, but I would discuss that with the attorney when you meet them there because that is some information they could provide if there was some miscommunication between you and counsel or between counsel and the court. They can let the court know. That way they'll have that information when making their decision.
Yeah, because I haven't missed no dates or nothing, so I was on it too. And when I showed up, and they're like, yeah, you have a warrant for your arrest. I'm like, what? So thank you so much.
Definitely, of course.
And then just the $500 bond, that's it?
Correct, and if you post the bond, then you'll be released, and then, of course, again, in the paperwork, it'll give you your next hearing, which will now be February 5th.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night. Mr. Matthews to the podium, and Mr. Taylor to the chair. Good evening. Could I get your name and date of birth?
My name is David Matthews, April the 1st, 1956.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like you're here on a failure to appear bench warrant. Looks like you missed a hearing. I'm going to go ahead and affirm the attorney that was previously appointed to represent you, and I'm going to give you a hearing for February 5th at 8:30. Now, it'll be a status conference in the downtown Superior Courthouse. I'm affirming the cash-only appearance bond of $50. If you post that bond, you'll have written conditions of release, and they are the same that were previously given to you, which include not returning to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. Did you have any questions, sir?
But see, I ain't got the money.
If you don't post the bond, you'll remain in custody until your hearing on February 5th. Okay, just step to your left. They'll give you your paperwork. Mr. Taylor to the podium and Ms. Squires to the chair. Good evening, sir. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Bryn Joseph Taylor, 2/1988.
Thank you, sir. And I do see that you were previously seen this morning at 5 a.m. and you were given a bond of $10,000. Has that bond been posted?
Yes.
When did that get posted?
I don't know. I just asked the gentleman out front, and it's been posted. I don't know. I've been upstairs in the room sleeping. I really don't know.
Okay. Officers, can you confirm that that was posted?
Yeah, I just asked the gentleman out there in the room, and he said it was, so it should.
Okay. And officer, just to clarify, yes, you can confirm, or yes, it was posted? Okay, thank you so much. So while he looks into that, we'll have a little bit of a discussion. So here's the situation. It looks like you're here on a warrant coming out of the Peace and Justice.
Yeah, I know.
It looks like you may have failed to appear, I think, at a hearing, and it related to littering and polluting.
What happened is, like, yeah, I paid the bond, and just Payson's just so far to get to, and that's just what happened.
Okay. So if he can confirm that your bond has been posted, then I will release you on your own recognizance and give you a hearing.
That'd be awesome, because I can just call them and get that taken care of. My family, like, is really stepped up to help me. This is, like, the last time they're gonna help me, so that's why that bond got paid.
Okay.
You know, and I'm just trying to straighten my life out, really.
Okay. So you're gonna have an arraignment hearing in the Pace and Justice Court, and that's on January 29th at 8:30. So intend on planning on going to that hearing if you're released from custody by, if in fact the $10,000 did post and nothing else comes up. I'm going to include the Pace and Justice Court phone number. You can contact them prior to that hearing and see if, you know, you can work it out, get a virtual hearing. But if you don't, you do need to attend. If you don't, they'll issue a warrant. Once we get confirmation that that other bond posted, I'll release you on your own recognizance.
Okay.
If it wasn't posted, I'm going to have to put a $50 placeholder bond.
Okay. I'm hip. I have one question for you. Maybe if you know, do you know if they have, like, a video court possibly that I could call since I don't live in Payson?
I don't know if Payson specifically does. A lot of places do these days.
I mean, I see that. I mean, I feel like that would be like a reasonable request, you know?
Right. I just don't know if that particular court does, which is why I'll include the phone number so you can call them. A lot of courts seem to have that these days, but I just don't know specifically if they do. Plus, most courts require permission, so just finding out that they have it isn't enough. So if you do find that out, make sure that you speak to somebody that can give you specific permission.
That's what I will do, because this has been going on for a little bit too long.
Okay. And we'll just hang tight while they just confirm that, and then I'll give you the orders.
This one's being closed, so I'm gonna check out that.
Yeah, that's the one they checked on out there, so.
Okay. All right, so they'll just confirm that, and like I said, I don't want to change the orders until we know for sure, because if I don't, if I release you OR, something happens and you remain in custody and I don't place the bonds, they're not going to make you available for the hearing, and you're not going to get any credit for any time served.
Oh, yeah, we don't want that.
Well, so we just want to make sure we have everything before we...
Thank you for protecting my booty, my behind, I should say.
Of course, we just don't want...
No, we don't need that mess.
Additional.
I have already had so much of a mess with the judicial system. I was such a an idiot when I was younger. I had my grandparents paid all my fines and everything, and I didn't learn anything, to be honest with you. And it just took them dying and me getting in trouble and going through the system myself, and to realize how much they really helped me, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was trying to call right now to get that $250 bond posted, but I couldn't get a hold of anybody in time.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because the gentleman out there said the only thing that was holding me was a $250 thing, and then possibly a $50 for the FTA. Possibly. That's what he was saying.
Okay. They've listed the FTA on here as well, so hopefully it's all...
Yeah, because it's never been two. It's always just been $250. I've had to pay it. I've paid it like 3 or 4 times now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 10,000 instead.
The 10,000, okay, so then I'm going to edit my release orders to include no appointment of counsel because you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel due to the nature of your charges.
Yeah.
Your hearing's going to remain at the January 29th at 8:30, and then I'll change it to release on your own recognizance. So long as nothing else comes up, and they've obviously just confirmed the 10,000 was posted, then you should be released, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
If you will step to your left and take a seat out there, they'll get you your new printed paperwork here in a moment.
I can't move.
Ms. Squires to the podium.
Hello, Your Honor.
Good evening, ma'am. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Belinda Squires, 4579.
Thank you, ma'am. And it does look like we're here on a new Superior Court case. It includes one count of criminal trespass in the first degree, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you and give you some hearings. You're going to have a status conference on February 10th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing on February 13th at 8:30 a.m. I am releasing you today to pretrial services. You are going to have written conditions of release. It does include not returning to the scene of the crime, no contact with any alleged victims, witnesses, or complainants. In addition to that, in your paperwork, it's going to have the dates, times, locations of your hearings, and then you're also going to get an envelope. It's that envelope that's going to give you the instructions for pretrial services. Make sure you read that and contact them once you're released.
I'll make sure I read everything, yes, Your Honor.
Anything else? Do you have any questions?
I don't know if I'm asking this properly, but you already had mentioned pretrial. The only question I have is, like I said, I don't know how to word it, but it's just weird. I'm not even moved in yet, and I'm already trespassed from my own place. It's weird. It's just really weird. But I'll follow the instructions that are given.
Okay.
So from what I'm hearing, you're saying pretrial release, which means there'll be services involved of some sort.
Yes,
I'm
so
familiar with
they'll provide some
pretrial,
assistance,
but
some
not with-
reminders.
Okay, yeah. I'm just not
So they will have some services, and then, of course, I've appointed counsel, so you'll meet with them on February 10th.
Okay, Goldberg and Osborne, please, no.
I've appointed the Maricopa County Public Defender to appoint someone to you. Obviously, you're welcome to hire someone at your own expense, but if you don't, we do have somebody in place. Okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Just up to your left, they'll give you your
God bless.
paperwork.
Have a good night.
You too. Case number 12, William Hondelik, date of birth August 18th, 1980, will proceed as a house call directly after this recording due to being a danger to self. We are here on a new Superior Court case with a one count of ag assault with a deadly weapon, a Class 3 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am going to appoint an attorney to represent him. I'm setting a status conference on January 31st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 4th at 8:30. I'm setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. In addition, there will be written conditions of release, which include not returning to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victims, witnesses, or complainants. If anything changes after I meet with him, I will update the written record. We will now stand at recess until the 5 a.m. calendar.